I'm gonna forget it. He already got it. Say it every day. That's the freedom. That's the Shabbat. That's like one of the first things that's locked in. But you got it though. What you do at work, you got it. That's your choice. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All praises be to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the power of Israel, for giving us this holy convocation, giving us this place, this time to come together and dwell in unity of spirit. We're going to go through the portion. The portion for this Shabbat day is Exodus 18:1 to Exodus 20:23. That's Exodus 18:1 to Exodus 20, verse 23. It's a portion of the Torah that we're going to review today. All praises be to the Holy One of Israel. So I trust that the Most High has been gracious and long-suffering with all of us throughout this week. We can come again and, worship the Most High on this Shabbat day. Because from Sabbath to Sabbath, and new moon to new moon, shall all flesh worship Him. All right, all praises. So let's get Colossians 3, verse 17.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. And whatever we do, word or deed, do all in the name of Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Him.
Right. So all things we do in word or deed, our words and our actions got to match. Everybody understand that? That's why we say word or deed. Because if you're saying one thing but doing something else, right? Then you're in the spirit of the wicked or hypocrite. Our words and our actions got to match. If you're about this truth, then you got to walk about the truth. Can't just talk about it. You know what I mean? Be quick to, the Shabbat day is, keeping the Sabbath is actually an action. Okay? Like I said, the word says keep, but in the Hebrew it's shamar. Shamar means to protect, right? It means to watch over. So, we on the Sabbath day, we got to watch over the Sabbath day. We make the Sabbath day what it is. For a lot of our people out in the world, they're in the mall right now, it's still the Sabbath, right? But it's not a Sabbath in their life. Or they going to work, or they trying to get that OT, right? They're trying to put in those good hours on the weekend. And for them, it's still the Sabbath. But they're not keeping the rules and things that the Sabbath, that the Father said we ought to do on the Sabbath day. That doesn't make the Sabbath go away. Okay? A lot of our sisters, times when you may be unclean on the Sabbath. And you're unable to attend the convocation, it's still the Sabbath, huh? So you got to keep the Sabbath still, right? And all its rules and all of its criteria still apply, even though you're not at the sanctuary, even though you're not, you might be sick, you might have a contagious cold and you don't want to come in the midst of the congregation. Still the Sabbath, correct? So no matter what the situation is, when the seventh day comes, it is still the Sabbath. It is still a time for you to set aside for whatever you're doing and keep the Sabbath. Okay? So we're going to touch on all these things today as we go through these chapters and verses in Exodus. All praises. All right. So, like I said, we're going to go through Exodus 18:1. We're going to start there. We're going to go through, this law that was given unto us, by the power of the Most High. And the law is extremely important that we keep these laws and we meditate on them. That we analyze and study them, so that we can be perfected in our walk in our actions, in applying them one to another. All right. Exodus 18, verse 1.
Exodus 18:1. When Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that the Most High had done for Moses and for Israel, his people, that the Most High had brought Israel out of Egypt, then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back, and her 2 sons, of which the name of one was Gershom, for he said, I have been an alien in a strange land. And the name of the other was Eleazar. For the Most High power, my father said he was mine help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh.
Right, so Gershom's name means Gershom being stranger. And Eleazar, if you hear it in the name, Izar, which means what in Hebrew? It means help. So he named his children after, according to the situation that he was going through, right? When he was a stranger in the land, he named his son Gershom, right? Or, or Warren, which means stranger. And then he also named his other son Eleazar, which in the Hebrew is Izar, which means help. Okay, so our names always had meaning, whether we named ourselves or our parents named us, or, as a lot of us coming to this truth, somebody might name it. But it's about the meaning of the name, That's why you have that name. That name is meaningful in the eyes of the Most High. Okay, it's not just the way it sounds. I'm going to say, I don't like that name. I don't like the way it sounds. What about what it means? Right? What it means is more important than how it sounds. Everybody understand that?
Yes.
Read.
And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife unto Moses into the wilderness, where he encamped at the mount of Yah. And he said unto Moses, I, thy father-in-law, Jethro, am come unto thee, and thy wife and her 2 sons with her. And Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, and did obeisance, and kissed him, and they asked each other of their welfare, and they came into the tent.
Right, so absence is a way of a salutation, okay? A way of showing of respect. So he showed his father-in-law respect when he saw, my father-in-law, my wife, my children has come on to me. So he made options to them, showed them respect. And then what? Began to communally talk about their welfare. Where you been? How's it going? How you feeling? All these type of things, right?
And Moses told his father-in-law all that the Most High had done unto Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how the Most High delivered them. And Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness which the Most High had done to Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Egyptians.
Right. And
Jethro said, Blessed be Yahweh, who have delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who have delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians.
Come on.
Now I know that the Most High is greater than all gods.
Right.
For in the thing wherein they dealt proudly, he was above them.
Right. So he said, now I know. Right? That example of what took place in Egypt even opened Jethro's eyes. He said, now I know. All those gods, all that boastfulness that Egypt had going on. Because remember, Egypt, that was what they call a superpower at that time. Like today, they would call that nation a superpower, a first world country at that time, right? They had the things that other countries didn't even have, other regions didn't have. They had the riches, they had the armies, the strength. And he says, now I know, after this blessing, after what transpired in Egypt with the Israelites, I know that your God is the real God. See, a lot of these nations, they're going to realize that our God is the real God. Okay? That the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is the only one and true God. All right? That their gods are foolishness. Right? Yet no one's even realized that at this point. Okay? Hold that and give me Psalms real quick. Psalms 86. And 8.
Psalms 86, verse 8.
Right.
Among the gods, there is none like unto thee, O Yahweh.
Right?
Neither are there any works like unto thy works.
Come on.
All nations whom thou hast made shall come and worship before thee, O Yahweh.
Right?
And shall glorify thy name.
Right. So all the nations going to glorify the name of Yahweh when they see his power. Right? All the nations going to say, man, the God of Israel, that's the one and true God. Look what he did. Okay? When he destroys America, the people are going to say, man, look what that God did. That is the one and true God. All our gods is what? Is foolishness. All right? Now give me Psalms 82. Not 82. The gods of the gods of the nation of idols. 96. Like 96.
Psalms 96, verse 5.
Okay.
For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Most High made the heavens.
Right? Right. So all the gods of the nations are idols. So all the gods that the Egyptians had, they were all idols, all fake. Phony, baloney. All right? They were all fake. And what the Most High showed by his great deliverance and the crushing of those gods through his through all those plagues is that all their gods is phony. We got to realize that even in the time we live in it, you know, because in America, there's got different gods in America. You know what I mean? Money is a big god in America. Okay? A lot of people believe in money. And some people have made education into a god. Right? They said, well, maybe if I get a master's degree, it'll save me. Maybe if I get a PhD, it will save me. Right? From the peril, from the things that we deal with. Right? But that ain't going to save you. That gives you information. Right? You know, it might make you a, you know, more valuable to Esau in his kingdom, but that ain't going to save you. Right? The only thing that's going to save you or get you prepared for the time that's coming is the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding holding the scriptures. Okay? Scholars need to turn around and learn these scriptures. Right? Doctors need to come off their level and say, you know what? I need to become a fool and I may become wise. Okay? Because if they don't get this understanding, their doctorate can't do nothing for them. Can't do nothing for them. All right? The fact that they are, you know, high-level military, got people in this world that whatever position they are, that's their God. All right? That's what's going to save them. That's their saving grace. All right? What do you think? There was doctors in Egypt. What do you think? Everybody, the Most High smote the Egyptians. They had people that had all walks of life in Egypt. Right? There was doctors, there was lawyers, there was architects in Egypt. Right? Remember, that was a city that was thriving. So every aspect of what's needed to build a city was covered in Egypt. And the Most High smote them anyway. Right? He didn't just smote the troops. When he killed the firstborn, that was the firstborn of all the Egyptians. You see that? So the power that we serve, he ain't just going to kill those that rise up. He's going to settle the score with all the blood that needs to be shed. Okay? All the blood that needs to be shed. What you supposed to say? All right, let's go back to Exodus.
Exodus 18, verse 12. 18:12. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices for the Most High, and Aharon came and all the elders of Israel to eat bread with Moses, father-in-law, before the Most High. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moses from the morning until the evening.
Right, so everybody came to eat bread with Moses' father-in-law, because this is Moses' family. So we have respect onto family. You know what I mean? And they came and they sat, you know, with Moses' father-in-law, and they ate bread and they chopped it up and talked about whatever. You know what I mean? Right? And they communed with him. All right? They showed him hospitality. Okay, read on.
And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, what is this thing that thou doest to the people?
Right.
Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning unto even? And Moses said unto his father-in-law, because the people come unto me to inquire of the Most High. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between the one and another.
Right, so what? He sat in a position to judge the matters that were coming up. And sometimes it will be a matter between two brothers or a sister and brother. Might be neighbors or husband and wife or brother and sister or whatever matter was going on. They needed to come to the judge to see, okay, let's see what's right and wrong. Let's inquire. Right, what's that?
Civil matters.
Right, civil matters that are amongst the nation. Right? These were not matters of contention with scripture because they barely received the law yet. Okay, they knew some righteousness, but now they were about to receive the commandments of the Most High in detail. Right? So these were civil matters. These were issues like, you know, I got a problem with this brother, or this sister got a problem with me, or whatever the case may be, and we went before Moses to work out the matter. This is how, in our kingdom, in our righteousness, how we did things. Okay? When there was an issue between two, you didn't just say, oh, well, I don't like that person, that's it. You had to settle it. Okay? And that's well, you don't like somebody, you know what, I don't like what you did, and I'll never speak to that person again. 20 years passed, you don't remember what the person did, you just know you don't talk to that person. Right? That's foolishness. That's the ways of the heathen. Okay. Come on. You can go there. Yeah. Leviticus 19:17.
Leviticus 19:17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
Right.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor,
right,
and not suffer sin upon him.
Right. So that's what it would lead to. If you don't settle the situation, it would lead to you hating your brother in your heart. Okay? Because you didn't settle it. Right? Give me 1 Corinthians 6, verse 1. Wow. 1 Corinthians 6, verse 1.
First Corinthians 6 and 1. Dare any of you, having a matter against another,
right,
go to the law before the unjust?
Go to the law, right, before the unjust. So we just read in Exodus that when they had a matter, they went to Moses, right? And what did Moses say? He showed them what they inquired of the Most High. What is righteous? What's righteousness here? That's what Moses was telling the people. Listen, according to what the Father said, this is the answer. According to what the Father said, this is the answer. That's what Moses was telling. All right? So in here in Corinthians, right, he's saying, dare any of you having a matter against another, same like we have matters coming out of Egypt, right? Go to the law before the unjust. Who's that? Who's the law of the unjust? Huh? No, we're not in Egypt now. We're in Corinthians. Huh? No. Who's the unjust? No. The other nations. Okay. The law of the land. The law of in that time of Corinthians, the law of the Romans, of the Greeks. Right now, we're in what? We're in America. Right? So we be going to what? The law of 911. right? We be going to downtown. We be going to the lawyers, right? In this kingdom. Not the real lawyers, but the lawyers, right? When you're supposed to be going to the lawyer, you're going to the lawyer, right? That's why we be messing up, okay? Or we go to counselors in this kingdom, and a lot of them is dealing with hypnotism, right? A lot of dealing with witchcraft. A lot of these psychiatrists and stuff playing mind games and mind tricks on you, right? You know what I mean?
So then Get Out.
Right, exactly. And like in the movie Get Out, right? Now, she was a psychiatrist, so she claimed, right? And all she was, I said, oh, I'm a good therapist. That's the word I'm looking for, a therapist. Because a therapist covers all that stuff there, all that mumbo jumbo, right? So they're gonna sit down with this therapist so I can see what's wrong with you. Next thing you know, you bugged out your mind, right? You in the sunken place, right? When you should have went to the law of the just. Who's the just? Right? Those that keep in what? The law, statute, commandments of the Most High. Right? How do we know that? Hold everything and give me Romans 2 and 13. Look at this. We're going to come back to Corinthians.
Romans 2, verse 13. For not the hearers of the law are just before the Most High,
Right?
but the doers of the law shall be justified.
Right, shall be justified. The doers of the law are just. What does just mean? In justified, it means right. They are right. Whether you like it, understand it, believe it, accept it or not, the law is right. Everybody understand that? Sometimes we gotta struggle to get with the law of the Most High because we've been learning the ways of the heathen for so long. All right? So it is to be just is to be right. All right, so let's go back to 1 Corinthians 6.
1 Corinthians 6, verse 1. Dare any of you having a man against another go to the law before the unjust?
Right, they're unjust because they're not keeping the commandments. Read on.
And not before the saints.
And not before the saints, because the saints are the just. Everybody see that? The saints represent the just because they're keeping the commandments of Yah. The unjust are those that are not keeping the commandments. And I'm going to teach you something. It don't matter where they're from. It don't matter if they see the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If they're not keeping the commandments, they're the unjust. Okay. We went over that last night, right? They might as well be heathen and uncircumcised. Okay, if they're not keeping the commandment. It is, oh well, that person they are my people. That's my father, my mother, my brother, my sister, right? But if they're not keeping the commandments of the Most High, they don't know the ways of Yah. They can only rule the matter according to their understanding, which is according to this world, which is according to the heathen. That's all they can rule according to. So you can't even expect them to give you the right answer. Right? Read on.
Do you not know that the saints shall judge the world?
Come on.
And if the world shall be judged by you,
right?
Are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
Right. Little matters between people should be able to be judged amongst the saints. Why? Because they're going to judge the world. This earth is going to be judged according to righteousness. Everybody understand that? Right. That's going to be the law that's going to govern the way the earth operates, right, in the kingdom to come. So if the earth can be judged and ruled according to the commandments, how come you can't be? Are you greater than the whole earth? You gotta really think about that. I can't be judged by the commandment, ruled by the commandments, but the whole earth is going to be. Right? So the Most High is preparing our minds to take on the command, not just read the commandments, but to live them. Until you start living the commandments, you don't really understand the commandments. Right? Read on.
Know ye not that we shall judge angels?
Come on.
How much more things that pertain to this life?
Right. You're going to be judging angels, telling angels what to do. What about things that pertain to this life? These things should be rudimentary, simple. All right? We're going to be dealing with angelic forces and telling them what to do. How are we going to do that? We can't figure this out. Okay. So we have to be mindful that we're using the law, statute, commandments to judge our matters and our situations. Read.
And then ye have judgments of things pertaining to this life. Set them to judge who are at least esteemed in the church.
Right. Don't not because somebody is rich. When it's at least esteemed, it's talking about their status, their monetary wealth. You know, it ain't about that. Okay. Everybody got to go to be the big man on campus. It ain't about that. It's about who's going to give you understanding via the scripture. Okay, that's what's most important, right? We don't.
I speak to your shame. Is it so that there is not a wise man among you?
Right. So Paul was real sarcastic in a lot of his writing, right? He said, "I speak this to your shame, man. Is there not a wise man among you? I mean, are you guys all unwise, for lack of a better word, right?" Right? Where's the wise man? Where's the man that's going to say, "Oh, right or wrong"? Right? We don't.
No, not one that shall be able to judge between his brethren.
Come on.
But brother go to law with brother.
Right.
And that before the unbelievers.
And that before the unbelievers. Be that they going to law one another. I got this. They battling one another. And they go into the law of the unbelievers. People's court, right? Judge Judy, right? I got a problem. Recently there was a brother. Did anybody see that? There was an Israelite brother on divorce court. I said, "What are you doing before the law of the unjust, man? What are you doing in there?" And then had the nerve to be upset because he didn't think he was getting right judgment. How are you going to get right judgment? How does that work? Did you skip past a part of the scriptures? You ain't supposed to be in that courtroom in front of this woman judge. If I'm correct, it's a woman judge, right? You ain't supposed to be there. Right? You put yourself in a situation you're not supposed to be in, and then you're upset because things ain't going the way you thought it was going to go. You're not that bright, man.
He's going to be vindicated.
I guess that's what he's doing. I said the Most High was going to come intervene or something, right? On his behalf. I don't know what he thought was going to happen. Most High looking at him like, "What? You going where? What are you doing there? Did you not read Corinthians? 1 Corinthians 6? Yeah? You look silly in there. Read.
Now, therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because you go to law with the law one with another.
Right.
Why do ye not rather take wrong?
Right.
Why do ye not rather suffer yourself to be defrauded?
Right. So listen, do what you're supposed to do, even though things might not go your way. If you're going to feel like, if I go to the brothers, they're not going to go in my favor, then suffer yourself to be defrauded. That's what scripture says.
That's what happened to the cat in the divorce court.
That's what right? Suffer yourself to be defrauded then. Why not? Because at least you can say your hand's clean. I went to the just. I didn't go to the unjust. I went before the saints. If things don't work your way, your hand's clean. You do what you're supposed to do. Most High will vindicate you some other way. Okay? But you too worried about, a lot of times people have a matter, they just want to win the matter. They don't want to know if they were right or wrong. They want to, beat the opposition to the point where they'll go to any means to win the argument. Forget about who's right or wrong here. Forget about the law of the Most High being established, righteousness being established. That's how I want to be right. I want to win. Right? It becomes a competition between two people instead of let the Most High name be glorified. Let his way be the just way. If I got to take low, I got to take wrong, but I'm wrong. If you got to take wrong, then you wrong. All right? Let the Most High way be established. That's how we deal with matters. And this way matters wouldn't linger and continue. Who cares who's right? Right? Doesn't matter who's right. Really? When you have art with somebody, does it matter that you were right and they were wrong? What do you get now? A prize? Is like some money is going to fall out of the sky? You're going to get a pat on the back, a trophy? What matters is that Yah is right and his way is being upheld. Now that matters. Everybody understand that? Let's go back to Exodus. So he was giving them what the Father had to say. He wasn't siding with one side, and this is my brethren, or this is my sister, or I like him, or I don't like her, I like her, I don't like her. So therefore, the judgment going to go in that way. Or in school growing up, you party with your friends. Your friend could have been dead wrong. You still going to back your friend, right? Because that's your people's, right? After you deal with the matter, then you go to your friend, man, why you did that, man? You know you was dead wrong, right? But now you have me out here, wilding out for you, and you wrong. Right? Because that was that competition spirit that we learned. But that's from the heathen, man. Every other way outside of these scriptures is the ways of the heathen, the way of the Gentile. And when you live in them ways, you are being a heathen and Gentile. Right? We have to be the Israelites that the Father created. And the Israelites went to the Most High to deal with their matters. So let's pick it up. Exodus
18 and 16. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of Yah and his laws.
Right.
And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, the thing that thou doest is not good.
Right.
Thou wilt surely wear away both thou and this people that is with thee. For this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone.
Come on.
Hearken now unto my voice, I will give thee counsel. And the Most High shall be with thee.
Right.
Be thou for the people of Yah, the people to the Most High one.
Right.
That thou mayest bring the causes unto the Most High.
Right. He said, okay, stand in the position between the people and the Most High. So he said, be to the people Most High word, God word. Right? Meaning that when they look towards to do what's right, they're going to look towards you. Right? So don't move out of that position. Right? You are the orator of the Lord's statute commandments to the people. But do this, read on.
And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws. You shalt show them the way wherein they must walk.
Come on.
And the work that they must do.
Come on.
Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men such as fear the Most High, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands and rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s.
So what did he do? He put them on certain levels. Right? So he said, get these able-bodied men. He said, he didn't make them all the same. He said, some is going to be rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. Right? Different rank. Okay? Depending on what? Their abilities and their knowledge and their experiences. Right? He arrayed them in order. Okay? If he made them all the same level, well, how would you put them in order then? Size order? I don't know. Right? So he had to put them in order according to their abilities. Okay? They all had to be righteous now. But not because you're righteous, you know everything. Some knew more than others. So if you were a man that was more knowledgeable, had more wisdom, or most invested more information, then you'd be a ruler of 1,000. And if you had a little less, you'd be 100, 50, and 10. Okay? And you can move up from 10 to 50 to 100 to 1,000. Maybe your knowledge base will raise. And then other people will come and take that place. So what he was building up is a system, right, of responsibility. You can't make somebody responsible for something they don't even know how to, it's like jumping in a car and driving and you don't have a license. Right? Chances are you might, cause a problem when you get out there, right? So we want to put people in position that they're able to properly bring forth the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High. It has to be order. It has to be in a class system or like the priests bring out rank. a ranking system, rank and file. All right. So this is Jethro's message to Moses, because he sat back and saw things being done out of order. Everybody coming to one person. Everybody that came was on one level, and that person was on one level. And everybody's badgering that one person. They can't be that way. Okay. You look at a business, what they call it in a business, they call it a hierarchy. Right? Those that know the vocabulary, right? It's called a hierarchy in business. Right? You have a manager, you have a general manager, regional manager, right? Then you have the store manager, then you have the manager that's over jewelry, the manager that's over clothing, manager over produce, right? You go further down, you got supervisor, right? You go further down, you got something else, you go further. So you got a system, a chain of command, and everybody was responsible for their part, for their part, for their part, for their part. And that became what? Order. That's how order is set up, right? Even in the household, everybody on the same level in the household? Nah, right? You have who's the head of the house? The father, right? Right, then who's next? Right, then who's next? No. Father's first, huh? Who's after that? Under that. Above that is Mashiach. Below the father is who? The mother. Below the mother is who? All the children on the same level? The oldest. Right? But let's say you have a son and a daughter, right? And they're near in age, but you have who's over who? Right? Let's say the daughter's 2 years older than the son. Who's over who? Huh? Who's over who? Oh, yeah, y'all look a little bit. Everybody's like, no. You just messed me up, huh? Right. Now, this will be determined by, like you said, just like Moses was determining over thousands, 50s, hundreds, this will be determined by the head, the father, right? Who's in what order, okay? The father has to make a determination and say, okay, you more responsible than that person, you over that person, you over that person, I can trust you, I can't trust that person. He got to make that determination, but he got to array them in order. You even should array, you got to array your children in order. It has to be in order, right? This way, there's always a level of responsibility. Everybody understand that? Right?
My grandfather did that with children, 4 children, girls and boys in that order. But my uncle was in charge because, to be honest, he had the most sense.
Right. See? It just so happens he decided who's going to be in charge.
And when he died, he made the proper decisions based on what my uncle told him.
Right.
I feel like if it was anybody else, it would have gone not good.
It would have gone astray. Right. Right. So it's up to that father to make that determination. Who's the head. Okay. So right here, Yethro is showing Moses, this is what you got to do. And you got to make a determination on what levels who's going to be on so that everybody's in rank and file, everybody's moving in order. All right, let's read on.
Exodus 18:22. And let them judge the people at all seasons. And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge.
Mm-hmm.
So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee.
Come on.
If thou shalt do this thing, and the Most High command thee so,
right,
then thou shalt be able to endure,
right,
and all his people shall also go to their place in peace.
Right, so Yahweh didn't just take credit. He said, if you do this thing and the Most High see that he bless it, then all things will go well. So Yahweh just let them know he see this, but it's for the Most High to ordain this thing to go this way. All right, read on.
If thou shalt do this thing, and the Most High command to do so, then thou shalt be able to endure, and all these people shall also go to their place in peace. Mm-hmm. So Moses hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law and did all that he had said. Right. And Moses chose able men out of all Israel and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. And they judged the people at all seasons And the hard causes they brought unto Moses, in every small matter they judged themselves.
Right.
And Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way into his own land.
Right. He went his way into his own land. So his was, Most High used his father-in-law to bring forth that message to Moshe. Okay, that things are to be arrayed in rank and order and in file. Right. Very important that we exercise this knowledge, this understanding. Right. In all our aspects, anytime we want to set things up, put it in order. Put it in order. Remember the order. Okay. Read on.
So what's the highest level of court in the U.S.? What would be the highest level of court? Because you had circuit court, Supreme. So Moses wouldn't be considered handling like the Supreme Court issues, like the highest level issues. That's what Moses would be dealing with. So all the lower court, all the other lower issues, then you got the 50,000. He dealt with those lower matters. But he was like the peak. He was dealt with like the supreme, the highest level issues that came before Moses. And so we have the 19th chapter. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai, for they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. And Moses went up unto the Most High. The Most High called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, I will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant. Then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine.
Right. So what do they have to do to become a peculiar treasure? They had to do what?
Keep the covenant, obey the covenant.
He said, if you keep my covenant, right? Obey my voice indeed. Obey my voice indeed. Okay? That means he's going to tell them what to do. And if they do it, then they are keeping the covenant. Okay? You have to do it though. You can't obey the voice in thought or in speech, or it has to be in action. All right? You're supposed to do what the Father said do, and don't do what he said don't do. That's the key. That's our side of the bargain. And we got to do what he said don't do. Stipulation, in this agreement. All right? So then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. So what's make us better than all people? That we do his commandment. If we don't do his commandment, are we better than all people? No. We're no different. We become heathens and Gentiles if we don't do his commandment. Okay. Read on.
And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. Right.
So it's not a new thing. How we will speak of, we're going to be a kingdom of priests. We were to be a kingdom of priests from the beginning. We all were supposed to know Yah and keep his commandments. When it says a kingdom of priests, it doesn't mean that we're all going to sit in the office of the Levite. It means that we all would know the Most High and do his will. That's what that's what the priest is supposed to do. The scriptures say a priest's lips, knowledge. Malachi? Yeah, Malachi. Malachi 2:7?
Yeah.
Come on.
Malachi 2, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
Right?
And they should seek the law at his mouth.
And they should do what?
Seek the law at his mouth.
Come on.
For he is a messenger of the Most High of hosts.
See that? So now the priest's got to keep knowledge. So we're a kingdom of priests. Right? We're all supposed to be speaking the words of Yah, correct? Not our own feelings, our own aspirations, our own ideas, but what the Father said. If we all speaking that, then we are a kingdom of priests. Everybody understand that? So we may not be the priest, right? Or sit in the office of the Levitical office, but we're all priests because we're given forth the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Heavenly Father. So let's go back now. Verse 7. Exodus
19, verse 7. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which the Most High commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, all that the Most High has spoken we will do. And Moses returned to the words of the people unto the Most High.
Right, so now who did he call? The who? Who is Moses speaking to here? Was he speaking to all Israel? What did he say? He pulled the elders and spoke to the elders. And when it says all the people, it's all the elders said. At this point in time, he's doing things in order. He first dealt with the elders and said, listen, this is what we Most High is requiring of us. This is what we got to do. And they said, come, we will do it. So then these elders now had to go out to all Israel and what? Continue this understanding. Continue this teaching. Okay. Continue to put this covenant in the ears of all Israel. But first, it had to start with the eldership. Okay. All right. Because it got to be in order. Most High, Yah is a power that's in order. He said that all things be done decently and in order. Okay. Let's read on.
And the Most High said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever.
Right.
And Moses told the words of the people unto the Most High. The Most High said to Moses, Go unto the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes.
Right. So you see the Most High's plan here? He was about to what? Give Moses some serious props in Israel. Okay. He said, I'm going to come on to you in a thick cloud. For what reason? Why is he coming to Moses in a thick cloud? What did he say? That's what when we read these scriptures, we got to pay attention to every precept. So what?
That people may hear.
Right. So, and do what? And believe him. Right? Because Moses can't just come up and saying, thus saith the Most. A lot of times we go out there and teach the people, they don't believe it. Right? But in the scripture say, in the day of our power, they will believe. Okay? Right now, we're looking for the faithful, those that have faith. The faithful will believe because he said, my sheep hear my voice and they will hearken. So a lot of people that hearken today, like you all that hearken to the word of the Most High, you're doing this through faith. When the Most High showed his power, faith is not needed anymore. Because now you see power. So Israel, Most High know he created Israel. He know how Israel rolled. He said, I need to come to you in a dark cloud as an angel. They need to see that you're dealing with the Most High God. And then they're going to believe you. Because Israel is a stiff-necked and rebellious people. Who the hell do you think he is? That's the first thing they're going to think. Telling us what to do. Right? So we can't be surprised. We got to go tell the people what to do. And they look at us like, who you, bro? Right? But in the day of our power, the people will be willing.
It's on a low level, a lot of times we do street ministry, right? You have somebody come up and mock us. Somebody just come out of the blue and just knock the person out. And they swear that they were affiliated with us, but we don't know who the person is. I see like one time Shabbat had camp, Sakari, somebody came out of the blue, knocked the person out. You understand? They thought that maybe they had to be affiliated, but the Most High was set aside. Okay, somebody just come out of there and just not lay the person out in the street.
Right.
You understand? This is to show that, listen, that's the power of the Most High. You understand? Because why he said what? That this word shall not go out void. So you're not marking mere men, but you're marking the Most High when you come against his word. So let's send out his angels out there, lay you flat in the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to protect. He said his prophets will not be removed from a corner anymore. So he's protecting his prophets. Before they used to kill the prophets, right? How did all the prophets, did they go to their grave in a ripe old age and their eyes went dim and they laid down to rest? They was all killed. All the apostles was killed, disciples killed, prophets killed. Read the scriptures, right? But the Father said he prophesied that what? They're not going to keep, this ain't going to keep happening. He said he's going to put his prophets out there. They're not going to be removed from a corner anymore. Their prophets will not be killed anymore. Okay. So we go out there and teach this word. As long as we prophesy and we will be lawful in our understanding and our approach, we would not be, we had nothing to fear. Like he said, priest, most I put a spirit in somebody and wipe somebody out that had some harm in their mind. Right? They got nothing to do with us. Right? We're going to just keep teaching the word of Most High. Okay.
Right. On the other hand, a lot of times you see brothers can attest, we go out there and we actually have people come out. We actually have police officers that have come out and camped around us and would remove anyone that's trying to come up against us. As long as we stay in the word of the Most High, that's why the Most High said, let his word be true, every man alive. And the officers have come out. One time, who was that? What's that place? Windward. The cops was there, they were there until we left. Okay? And what do? We stayed in the scriptures.
Right.
When they go back and tell the higher ups, they only heard us teaching the Bible. You know, there was no talk of overthrowing the government, no talks of shooting, killing anybody. All we were doing was minister the words that's contained in this Bible. That's the only thing they can go back and tell their superiors. Okay, so as long as you stay in this word, okay, you are justified through the Most High Yasharahla. Okay, there's no fear.
Right. Let's read on next.
19:11.
Right.
And be ready against the third day. For the third day, the Most High will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, take heed to yourselves, that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever toucheth the mount shall be surely put to death. There shall not an hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through. Whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, they shall come up to the mount. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, be ready against the third day, come not at your wives.
Now, what does that mean? Be ready unto the third day, come not at your wives. That's right, don't be intimate. Why? Why can't we come at our wives? All right, obvious. So you're not unclean. So you don't become unclean. All right? You need Leviticus, man. Leviticus.
Got a part 2 answer?
Oh, man. That's what you, yeah. I got it, man. Leviticus 15:16.
Leviticus 15:16. And if any man see a compilation
Right?
go out from him,
Right?
Then he shall wash all his flesh in water
Okay.
and be unclean unto the even.
Right. Read on.
And every garment and every skin wherein his seed of copulation shall be washed with water and be unclean unto the even.
Read on.
The woman also with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water and be unclean unto the even.
Right. So what? The sexual act makes you unclean. Okay. The seed of copulation goes forth out of a man. It makes everything that it touches and the people involved unclean. That's why he said, come not at your wives these 3 days. Do not become unclean. Everybody understand that?
Right.
All right. So let's go back. All right. I don't know about the back and the strong back and the lean and the, that part. You have to give me scripture for that one. All right. So let's go back.
Book of Revelation, 30th chapter.
Yeah, right.
Exodus 19,
Verse 15 we just read, so 16.
16. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled.
There was trembling. So this was no regular storm. It wasn't like, oh, it's raining, it's a thunderstorm. They were in there trembling in the camp. Like, what is that? They called it thunder and lightnings, but this was not a regular thunder and lightning. Then why would the people be trembling? People wasn't afraid of weather, right? This was some extreme thunder and lightnings, right? What brings forth this thunder and lightnings? Hold that and give me Isaiah 29 and 6. Isaiah 29 verse 6.
Exodus 28.
Okay.
Exodus 29 and verse 6.
Come.
Thou shalt be visited, O Lord of hosts, with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire.
So you gotta think of that, man. This is what they were seeing. The earth was shaking. There was thunder and lightning, and it was crazy. The mount just got crazy. All right. To the point where they trembled, want to know what manner of sky is this? Right? What's about to happen? They started to fear for their lives. All of this is what? When the power of Yahweh is making himself known in the earth. It's an event. Okay? It ain't just something that can be looked over. The people were so afraid. Okay? What's with you, Spoon?
Here's going to go into portion up to what chapter?
20.
It's 2018.
Yeah, we're going to read that.
Okay.
2023 it ends. All right. Sam?
Oh, I had 30 and 30.
Isaiah 30 and 30?
Yeah, it's almost like it.
God, the scripture. Isaiah 30 and 30.
Isaiah 30 and 30. And the Most High shall cause his glorious voice to be heard, and shall show the lightning down of his arm, and the indignation of his anger, and with the flame of devouring fire, with scattering and tempest and hailstones.
Right, so what? All that is like crazy weather, right? The skies, fire and thunder and hailstones and tempests, right? Tempest is like very strong winds, okay? So that's when the Most High is bringing his power and showing his glory in the skies. Right?
For through the voice of the Most High shall the Assyrian be beaten down with smoke with a rod.
Right. Right. Just with the voice, it was beaten down. So he make his voice be heard, his service is finished. So we understand what kind of power we deal with here. So what was happening at the Sinai was not no regular rainstorm. It was something that was, that had the people so afraid. Let's go back to
Exodus 19 and 17.
God.
And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with the Most High. And they stood at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Most High descended upon it in fire. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace. And the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and the Most High answered him by a voice. And the Most High came down upon Mount Sinai, on the top of the mount. And the Most High called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. And the Most High said unto Moses, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto the Most High to gaze, and many of them perish. And let the priests also which come near to the Most High sanctify themselves, lest the Most High break forth upon them. And Moses said unto the Most High, The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, but thou chargest us, saying, Set bounds about the mount, and sanctify it.
Right.
And the Most High said unto him, Away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aharon with thee. But let not the priests and the people break through to come up unto the Most High, lest he break forth upon them.
Right, so what? He put bounds around the mount. What does that mean? He put what? He put a barrier, so the people wouldn't get past that barrier, so they wouldn't come and touch the mount. Because they touch the mount, that's it. All right? Until he came up to the Most High, up the mount, and he's giving them instruction who's to come up the mount with him. So who's supposed to come to the mount with Moses? Who did he tell him to bring up here? The priest and who else? And Aharon. Right. Bring Aaron and the priest up here. Okay, but make sure that barrier is good, that nobody break through, because then the Most High will break forth on that person. Just Aaron?
Yeah, glory to God. And the Most High said unto him, Away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee. But let not the priests and the people break through to come up unto the Most High, lest you break forth upon them.
Yes, I like it. So it's just Aaron and the priest even had to stay back. So just Aaron was able to come up with Moses, this mount. Anybody else touch this mount, the Father is going to break forth and deal with that person. Okay, read on.
So Moses went down unto the people and spake unto them. And the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am Yasharahla thy power, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Right.
Thou shalt have no other powers before me.
Right. So the first commandment of the Most High is thou shalt have no other powers before me. Thou shalt put no other powers before me. Okay? In this society here in America, we tend to do that. We put a lot of things before our dedication to the Most High. We might put our job before, our family before, our children before, right? We put everything before, right? And then we get a chance to go and deal with some things of the Most High, right? He has to be first, okay? Put no power before him, all right? The scriptures in the Hebrew, it says it's properly translated, in my face. When it says before him, it says in my face. So don't have no power, don't give nothing more energy, more strength than the Most High. Okay? Read on.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
Right.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yasharahla thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Yeah.
And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
So this is a two-part commandment. The second commandment has two parts to it. It says, don't make no images that you will bow down and worship. Okay? It's not saying you can't have a picture. It's not saying you can't have a statue or whatever, right? But if it's made for worship, then that's no. Or if you're trying to build an image of things that are heavenly, right? Things that have not been seen, then no. Okay? But we have, some brothers might have, a little replica of the ark in their house, or you might have, certain little artifacts, a picture of what Jerusalem used to look like. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's not a graven image. Okay? A graven image is, these fake gods, like what they got, India got all these gods with all these arms and all that stuff. Those are graven images. But he's saying, they're ultimately saying these things exist, and they don't exist. Okay? A woman with an elephant head, they don't exist. Okay? Egypt had a lot of gods, right? They had men with dog heads, and these things didn't exist. Okay? Those are graven images. Everybody understand that? Right? We're not to make any graven images, no image of the Most High. All right? Because he didn't give his image to us. But we saw Yasharahla, he walked the earth, right? So he, had a body, and his body had a color, and it was described in the scriptures. Everything from his hair is his complexion. So if you have some sort of thing that a representation of what was written, that's all right. But don't go into no false image. So you got false images, right? All right, this is a false image, right? A lot of our children shouldn't even know who this is, right? Charles Manson, right? So that's not the image of the Most High. All right, no false images. All right, so we got to be careful. Or bow down or worship. So let's say you do make an image of the temple, and you got it on your wall. If you start looking at that like that's the temple, there's a problem here. Okay, don't worship those things, right? Because back in the day, your parents had little angels, right? Oh no, touch that. Hold on now. Why is it so important not for me to touch that? Right? It is just a figurine or whatever. It has no life, it has no strength, it has no energy, it can't do nothing. Okay? Don't give power onto anything that's in your home. Everybody understand that? There's nothing in your home blessing your home but your righteousness. Everybody understand that? That's what blesses your home. Your righteousness. Okay? Don't put a menorah in your home and say, oh man, I got to put this in there because this is going to protect my house. Because then you make an image out of the menorah, which is not to be made an image. It is a candlestick given to us by our Father. Okay, so we got to be mindful not to make images or believe in anything but Yahweh. Okay? Read.
Even this little magazine here, February 2018. So a lot of people say, well, it doesn't matter what color the Messiah looks like, but every issue, every magazine, every TV show, he always ends up being a Caucasian.
Last two.
Okay, so apparently the color does matter, because you always put them up as a Caucasian. Okay, and you mean to tell me that they don't? You mean you got all this stuff on the internet? You got the Arab just sent a letter to the Christian church telling that the so-called Jews have no ties, okay, to that land. So these people tell me that they still don't know the Messiah was a man of color. So they continue to perpetrate this fraud, this conspiracy, this lie that the Messiah was a Caucasian. Okay, and I spent 5 hours, but a picture is worth 1,000 words. They quote me $4.99. But just to show that they are still, perpetrating this lie throughout society. Exodus 20 and 7. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy power in vain, for Yahweh not hold guiltless that take his name in vain. Remember the Shabbat day to keep it holy. Right. 6 days shall I labor and do all thy work.
So now we entered the first. How many commandments we did so far? 4. The first 4 commandments right, can be represented or summed up, all right, in the scriptures. Give me Mark 12, verse 29. Give Mark 12, verse 29. All four of the first four commandments is towards Yah. How you deal with the Most High. Okay. Give me that.
Mark 12 and 29. Mashak Yahweh shall answer.
Matter of fact, start with 28. Or when you ask the question, 27. So, do with this commandment.
And 28. And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, which is the first commandment of all?
Right.
Mashak Yahweh shall answer them. The first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel,
right.
Yahweh our power is one Lord.
Right.
And thou shalt love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment.
Right. So now, that represents the first four commandments of the Ten Commandments. Because the first four commandments of the Ten Commandments are pertaining to how you deal with the Most High. Everybody understand that? All thy soul, all thy might, all thy strength must be used to not put any power before him, not to accept any graven images, not to use his name in vain, and to remember the Sabbath day. You got to put all your strength in doing the first commandment. All right? That's the first commandment. The first four are summed up in one. Read on.
And the second is like, namely this.
And the second commandment is this. Read.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor
as who?
Thou shalt love thy neighbor.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor. Read on.
As thyself.
Who is your neighbor according to the scripture? Who's your neighbor? Let's get it out of the Bible dictionary. The word neighbor. All right. Yeah, out of the Bible dictionary. Very important we understand this, because then when we are keeping the commandments, we got to realize certain commandments towards the Most High, certain commandments towards your brother or your sister, okay, your fellow Israelite. Okay, we got to keep both of these. All right, we can't put one before the other. Can't put, okay, I do two, but I don't do one. All right, you got to put the Most High first. Then you can deal with your brother right. You put your brother first, then you're not dealing with the Most High right. Matter of fact, you ain't even dealing with your brother right because you put the creature before the Creator, which is backwards. Everybody understand that?
Neighbor. Commandments 6 through 10. Deal with the duty towards one's neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
In Old Testament, neighbor meant one who lived nearby, a fellow Israelite.
A fellow what?
A fellow Israelite.
A fellow Israelite. That's your real neighbor. A lot of you live in complex. You don't even know who lives next door to you. That ain't your neighbor. You don't even know that person. You probably never said nothing but two words, right? Good morning. That's it. That's as far as your conversation with your neighbor. Morning, morning. That's it. You go and you come. You don't know that person. Your neighbor is your fellow Israelite, your companion in your walk. That's your neighbor. That one that's serving the Most High too. So I could go to another state and get amongst my neighbors. Okay? Because my neighbors are all those that are keeping my God's commandments. You understand that? That's your neighbors. That's who you want to fellowship with. Okay? So let's go back to Exodus. Let's look at the Sabbath day. Read 8 again.
Exodus 20, verse 8. Remember the Shabbat day to keep holy.
Right. 6
days should I labor, do all thy work.
Right.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy power.
Right.
In it thou shalt not do any work.
Right.
Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Right?
For 6 days Yahweh thy power made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Right. So we must keep the Sabbath day. We gotta hallow it. We gotta keep it honorable. Okay. By keeping all the laws that pertain to the Sabbath day. Okay. If you're unsure about whether you should be doing something or not on the Sabbath, ask somebody. Okay. There's many commandments, many scriptures that give us a lot of guidance on how to deal on the Sabbath day. Okay. Let's make sure we're keeping the Shabbats holy. Come? You know?
Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee.
So what's the word honor mean? Give me another word for the word honor. Respect your parents. Respect them. Honor thy father and thy mother. Don't disrespect your parents under no circumstance. Okay. That's it sounds simple, but so much of our people disrespect and dishonor their parents is crazy. Steal from their parents, right? Parent don't do something they want them to do. They want to cuss their parent out. Talk all crazy to their parents. Oh, I don't talk to my father. I don't talk to my mother. You hear this going on amongst our people all the time. Divorce your parents, right? Ain't no mother to me, right? Right? It's ridiculous. Right? This is something that should not be in Israel. If your parents off, if your parents off, they off. That don't mean you got to disrespect them. You got to know you off. That's not disrespectful. All right? Listen, according to the scripture, you are going astray from the commandments of the Most High. That's it. Right? As long as that's made, you ain't got to argue with them down. You ain't got to fight with them. Okay? There's a certain way you deal when you rebuke an elder anyway. Hold on a second. Let me get that. On to my time. I think it's 1 Corinthians, the 5th chapter. No. And treat elder like a mother. You see, yeah. First Timothy's 5. Okay, that was on the 5th chapter. 1 Timothy's 5. What up? Yeah. 1 Timothy 5:1. Especially you come to this truth now, there's going to be division. You know, Christ wake you up, may not wake your parents up. May not wake your mother up, may not wake your father up. You got to learn how to deal with that situation. You can't make that situation make you become disrespectful to them because the Most High didn't call them. He called you. You should be just thankful that he called you. All right? You don't have to do what they say if they're guiding you to break the commandments of the Most High. Yah come first. That's why we went to the two greatest commandments. You serve Yah first, then your neighbor. So if your neighbor trying to make you go against the commandments of Yah, that ain't going to go down. Because Yah come first. Everybody understand that? Read that.
1 Timothy 5:1.
Uh-huh.
Rebuke not an elder.
Come on.
But entreat him as a father.
But do what?
Entreat him as a father.
So what is this scripture talking about? You say deal with your elder like you deal with your father. And you can't rebuke an elder. So guess what? You can't rebuke who? Your father. You can't be like, thus said Most High, coming in and rebuking your father. You know what I mean? Hard correction to your father. That's not your place. All right, we don't.
And the younger men as brethren.
And the younger men as brethren. Come on.
The elder women as mothers.
How about your mother? You got to deal with. You can't be hard rebuking your mother either. Read on.
the younger as sisters with all purity.
Right?
Honor widows that are widows indeed. But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home and to requite their parents, for that is good and acceptable before the Most High.
Right. So all this is good and acceptable for the Most High. Jump down to 17.
Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor,
Right?
especially they who labor in the word and doctrine.
Right. So now if your father labored in the word, double honor to him. Double respect. Okay? You respect your father anyway, you respect your elder anyway. But if he's in his word and he's doing the work of the Most High, double honor, double respect. That means you do, you do what you're told by him. Because he's in his word. Okay, read on.
For the scriptures say, thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn, and the laborer is worthy of his reward.
Right, a laborer is worthy of reward. That's why you get double honor. You've been doing this work, you get double honor. Okay, read on.
Against an elder, receive not an accusation.
Come on.
But before 2 or 3 witnesses.
Right, if somebody come tell you something about an elder, no, oh man, really, you did that? And one person told you? Nah. You say you don't even accept that accusation. You don't even resonate that as being true. It got to be 2 or 3 people to come tell me this, right? That didn't hear it from you for me to believe that, right? If anything, you're going to side with that elder. That's what scripture's telling you to do. You side with that elder. You can inquire of the elder. Say, listen, this is what I heard, man. I don't believe it. This is what I heard. You know? But you hear a rumor, and everybody run with that rumor out of one person's mouth. You dishonoring the elder. Everybody understand that? These are things that we overlook in the scriptures. But they're right there. Right? Read on.
Them that sin rebuke before all, that others also may fear.
Right. So then what? Then it gets corrected. All right, so let's go back now. Just want to show that what? We don't hard rebuke. You know, there's a way of going about telling your father, your mother that they might be doing the wrong thing according to the commandments of the Most High. You show them with all due respect, with all lowliness of spirit. You can't be in there like, that's why you off, Mom. You know what I mean? That's why the Most High gonna jack you up. That's why your father look at you like, yo, what the hell is this? My son, what is thou speakest? You don't need that kind of situation, right? Right? Especially if you're staying with your mom, right? And that's even more reason to watch your mouth. You know what I mean? But I'm saying you can instruct them to do what's right. But if they don't decide not to do it, your hands clean. Okay? You ain't got to be coming in and turning over tables because they're swine again. Ah! You don't get put out. Okay? You don't get put out the house. You will put out the fence. You'll put out the will. Okay? The scriptures say there's value in honoring your parents. They keep you in the will. When things go down, when they go to sleep with our fathers, they'll remember you, right? And they'll make provisions for you if you honor them. That's in the scriptures. All right? Let's look at that real quick. Let's do that one, honor the parent. Give me an Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus, the 3rd chapter. Yeah. 3 and 1. In fact, Ecclesiasticus 3 and 1.
Sirach 3 verse 1.
Huh.
Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe.
You may be what?
That ye may be safe.
This is just for your safety. Read on.
By the Most High have given the father honor
Right.
over the children,
Come on.
and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons.
Come on.
Whoso honor his father, make him an atonement for his sins.
Wow. You honor your father, you make an atonement for your sins. You show respect to your parents regardless. Whether they off, on, that's beside the point. They want to hear, they hear. They want to hear, guess what? They got to deal with the Most High themselves. Okay? They're not your children. Right? They're not their children. Not that they get to a certain age. You get now you big and strong. Now you trying to treat your parents like they're your children. You want to beat them and stuff like that. Put them on punishment. Right? That's wickedness. But these things happen. Y'all laughing, but these things go down, right? I'll get there. We're gonna stay here for a moment. Right? Moshe. Right? Elam is known to do that. He put the slap down on everybody in the house, from the grandfather all the way down. He the man in the house, everybody gets it. That's right. You know?
And he that honoreth his mother is as one that layeth up treasure.
That does what?
Layeth up treasure.
Like I said, you honor your parents. Later on in life, they look out for you. You disrespect your parents, you can't be upset if you ain't got nothing for you. Remember when they were being, you thought you were so right that you was going to tell your mother and your father where to go and how to get there, right? And now when you old now, they don't remember you, all right? Because why? You dishonor your parents. You dishonor them. You can never dishonor your parents. Everybody understand that? It's like treasure. It's like saving treasure for your life to come. Okay. Read on.
Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children.
Right.
And when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard.
Right. When you honor your parents, guess what happens? Your children honor you. It's crazy how that works. Right? Because you got to lead by example. If you disrespecting your parents, guess what your children going to do to you? They will look at you crazy every time you turn your back. And when you get old and you can't box them down no more, they be looking at you like, yeah, whatever. Right? They be ready to step to you and like, damn, you're supposed to be my child. All right? We see it happen all the time amongst our people. Right? That's why these commandments is what is the salvation for our people. This is what makes us different than the Gentile. You know, my white boys, they get older, they be looking at their parents living too long, and they want that insurance money, right? They be ready to knock them off. Right? Menendez brothers, they be ready to rub them out, put a mob hit on them. Okay? Empty out their bank accounts and stuff. Other than be stealing from their parents, empty out their parent whole bank account. Right? Oh, they don't need the money, they're about to die anyway. And they spend all their bread. Parents gotta protect their money from their children. Right? This is what's going on. These are going on every day. Now, in our society, we learn the ways of the heathen, so we do the same thing that the white man do. We do the same thing that Elam do, right? So-called East Indians, right? The same thing all these nations do. We got to make ourselves separate. We got to be set apart. We set apart when we live this way.
He that honoreth his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient unto the Most High shall be a comfort to his mother.
Come on.
He that fears the Most High shall honor his father, and will do service unto his parents as to his masters. Honor thy father and mother both in word and deed,
Right.
that a blessing may come upon thee from them.
From who?
From them.
Like I said, you take care of your parents, one day you're going to get a blessing from them. Okay? So you got to honor them in word and deed. You can't say, I love you, Mom, with your mouth, and you stealing from them or doing something wicked from them behind their back. Okay? It has to be by word and deed. Everybody understand that? All right, let's go back to, I know there's more here, but to read that whole chapter when you have time. So, honor thy father and thy mother is a very important scripture. And the scriptures also tell us that as we read on. Read 12 again.
Exodus 20:12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that their days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee.
He said that'll extend our days in the land of Israel. if we would have honored our father and our mother. Evidently, we didn't honor them because we got the boot out of Israel, right? But had we honored our fathers, our forefathers, our mothers, then what? We would be what? Blessed. Because they told us to keep the commandments. For what? We want to do our own things, right?
Yeah. So he said that was the first commandment. He gave a promise.
That's right. Right? I told you that. Listen, they'll give you long life. That's the promise. All right?
13, thou shalt not murder.
Right?
Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal.
Right. So let's deal with these three real quick. Thou shalt not murder. Meaning that what? We're not supposed to what? Take somebody's life, huh? But I'm gonna show you something. Give me 1 John. I know in the Bible it says thou shalt not kill. The reason why I say thou shalt not murder, it's not talking about just killing something, because there's times and situations you might have to kill something. All right? But we are not to murder. We're not to take somebody's life. Right? I believe no, that's not the one I want. But that was the one. Is it 3 and 15? Let me see. Yeah, 3 and 15. 1 John 3, verse 15. Then we get 4 and 20.
Start from 14.
Huh.
Well, really.
All right, yeah, something 11. Yeah, something 11. Huh.
1 John 3 and 11.
Come on.
For this is the message that ye have heard from the beginning,
Right.
that we should love one another.
Come on.
Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one,
Right.
and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him?
Mm-hmm.
Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous.
Come on.
Marvel not, my brethren,
Mm-hmm.
if the world hates you. We know that we have passed from death unto life,
Mm-hmm.
because we love the brethren.
Come on.
He that loveth not his brother abideth in death.
Come on.
Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
Is it what?
Is a murderer.
If you hate your brother, you are a murderer. Okay? We ain't supposed to hate our brother. So it says, thou shalt not murder. It means that you do not hate your brother. Read on.
And ye know that no murderer
Read on.
hath eternal life abiding in him.
You can't get to the kingdom being a murderer. Right? You want to be a murderer? You want to be a murder music? You want to be a killer? I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a killer, I'm a murderer. Right? Most of the hip-hop rappers and stuff, they want to be murderers and killers. I think that's cool. There's no place for them in the kingdom of heaven.
You got the teardrops.
Right? That's supposed to be they kill somebody, right? They murder somebody, they put teardrop tattoos on their face. Right? That means you lost somebody, you killed somebody. Oh. That was something you kill somebody. Well, very, very much. You know what I mean? This is not to be glorified. Okay. All right. Now give me 4 and 20. If you did what? Oh, if you shaded in, you killed somebody. And if it's hollow, it's just an outline, you lost somebody. All right. Well, that's street 101. All right. All right. You learn your thug fizzle 101. Right? 4:20. 1 John.
1 John 4:20. If a man say, I love the Most High, and hateth his brother, he is a liar.
Right?
For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen,
right?
How can he love the Most High whom he hath not seen?
Come on.
And this commandment have we from him, that he who loved the Most High love his brother also.
Right. So what? We can't be hating one another, talking about we love the Most High. I hate that brother, but I love the Most High. That don't make no sense. Okay? That's wickedness. Right? We hate the wicked. The scriptures say hate the wicked and love, and hate evil and love righteousness. The Bible tells us that. I'm not saying you can't hate. Don't get me wrong. I'm an advocate for hate. Hate is very important. All right. Matter of fact, just to clear that up, give me Psalms 97, verse 10. All right. Let's clear that up. I don't want you to think I'm saying you can't hate.
Psalms 97, verse 10. Ye that love the Most High,
right?
Hate evil.
Do what?
Hate evil.
Read on.
He preserved the souls of his saints.
Right.
He delivered them out of the hand of the wicked.
Right. We gotta hate the wicked, hate evil. Okay. If you love the Lord, so you separate yourself from evil. Okay. So we hate evil. Don't get that wrong. Right. But you got your brother, and it's true. You might have aught with him, a situation, and you hate the brother. You never try to mend it up. You never try to fix the situation. Or you might have a sister that you had issues with, right? But you're going to hate the sister instead of mending up and getting past whatever issue that you have with that sister. You can't live like that. That's wicked. Right? You have issues with each other, right? You go through your issue, but you can't go on hating that person. The scripture says, thou shalt not hold a grudge against the children of Israel. Okay? That's all the children. You can't hold a grudge. You can't say, well, what he did, but. It don't matter the buts. What matters is what you do with that information. You cannot hate your brother or your sister. Everybody understand that?
Amen.
All right. Or you will be guilty of being a murderer, and the murderer have no place in the kingdom of heaven. Okay? Thou shalt not commit adultery. Give me Matthews. 5th chapter. Turn.
Matthew 5 and 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, have committed adultery with her already in his heart.
Right, so what is adultery? Let's define adultery. You don't have to do the act to be guilty of it. All right? Just thinking about it to be guilty of it. All right? Just meditating on it. Yeah, I know it's a brother, wife, but man, she look good. Okay? Or you got men that have their wives and are always trying to parade their wives' sexuality for other people to see. That's wicked. All right? If your wife, right, is what do you call it? I don't know what they say now. She bad, right? That's what they say. If your wife's bad, keep her badness to yourself. Right? You ain't supposed to be parading her around the way, causing your brother to what? To lust after. If you're a sister and you're married, you got to cover yourself even more. Put away your desirable parts, right? That you don't cause your brother to fall, right? And lust after you, because you know you're not in a position to become anybody's wife, because that would make you what? An adulterous woman. See, a lot of women, they be married, but they still want all this attention. They want to walk around single, but they married. You can't do that. Okay? You can't do that. You have to become more reserved when you're married. Okay? When you give it to someone. And young men, you know, a woman got a man. Like, for instance, one of the most popular couples in hip-hop, you got Jay-Z and you got Beyonce, right? Beyonce, he on the stage with Beyonce. She is naked, right? And he's there like, this is bad, this beat is bad. Look at her. Look at her. She's fit. And I'm like, yo, that's supposed to be your wife, man. God damn, have some respect. Have some respect for the man. You on the stage with the man. Right?
She's cheesing though.
Right? She's what?
Cheesing.
Cheesing? Baking bread?
what I was saying. She's happy of those accolades, you know.
That's right. Oh no, she happy. I'm saying him have some respect. Tell your wife, well, come around. All right? But that's not taught in this kingdom. Okay? Give me Leviticus 20 and verse 10. That's not taught in this kingdom. Man. All right? When you step from being a maid, the scriptures call it a maid. What's a maid? It's a woman of marital age that is not married. And you go from being a maid to a wife. You're changing your status on this earth in the eyes of the Most High and everything. You are different now. Now you are a wife. All right? Now you have joined yourself to a man. It's totally different now. There's laws and commandments that govern your life now differently than when you were single. Okay? You cannot continue your single life married. Everybody understand that? You might have liked to go out, hang out, do this, do that. You are married now. You like what your husband wants you to do. It changes, right? You cannot continue with your individual mentality and now you're joined with somebody. Your individual mentality has to be cut off. Yeah, I used to do that. Yeah, to kick it with the girls and da-da-da-da-da. Now I'm married. I don't do that anymore. But your status changed. You are a different person now.
Girls Weekend.
All right? What's that? Girls Weekend. Right? Read that what you got.
Leviticus 20 and 10.
Uh-huh.
And a man that committed adultery with another man's wife,
Right?
even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife,
Right?
the adulterer and adulteress shall surely be put to death.
That is a crime worthy of death. For a man to sleep with another man's wife is a crime fit for death. That is what adultery is. Okay? When a man lay with another man's wife, that is a crime fitting for death. Okay? So we are not to look or lust or hang. And you know what? That's why I started with Matthew's, because it starts with the thought. It might not have been your intention to lay with this man's wife, but y'all like to hang together. Right? Oh, we like to party together. We hang, we chill. Are you supposed to be chilling with another man's wife? If you're a wife, should you be chilling with another man? That's against the commandments of the Most High. Everybody understand that? Give me Ecclesiastes 19. Maybe you're saying Yasharahla saying that. So let's see what the scriptures say. Okay. All right? Yeah. That's it. At the drink. That's wicked. I'm calling the right verse. What chapter? Is it 9 at all? 9? I said 19, right? Sorry, 9. Yeah. Start there. 9th chapter. Come on. Start with 8. Come on. Here we go.
Sirach 9 verse 8. Turn away that eye from a beautiful woman and look not upon another's beauty.
Right. Why do you turn away your eye from this beautiful woman? Why would you want to turn your eye away from a beautiful woman? Because what is it about this beautiful woman in this chapter, this verse here? Right? This beautiful woman is a married woman. Okay? This is a married woman. You turn your eye away from a beautiful woman, especially if she's a married woman. Okay? Right? The scriptures tell us a man loves to look at a beautiful woman, but that's got to be a single woman. Right? Let me prove that. Hold that. 36. Sirach 36. 36:22.
Sirach 36 and 22. The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance, and a man loveth nothing better.
Right, a man loves nothing better than to look at a beautiful woman. Okay? It cheereth the countenance. He get all happy, excited. Oh man, you see that? Oh gosh. Right? He get all hyper. because he finds the woman attractive. Okay? But certain women, we're not to gaze upon their beauty. What kind of women we not to gaze upon? Married women. Okay? Go back now to chapter 9, verse 8. Read that again.
Turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman.
Right.
For herewith love is kindled as a fire.
Right, because herewith love is kindled as a fire. Meaning that you keep looking at this woman, guess what you're going to do? You're going to want that woman. Right? Because you keep gazing at her. Right? And after a while, oh man, that would be nice. It'll be cool. Right? You start, your imagination start to run with you. Right? Next thing you know, you see yourself with that woman. Next thing you know, you say things to that woman that you know you ought not to say. All right? Knowing that she is a married woman. Right? Read on.
Sit not at all with another man's wife.
Right. So now it's going on to say, sit not at all with another man's wife. Read on.
Nor sit down with her in thine arms.
Right. Don't anytime we yeah, you know, I'm going through this and that. Well, you know, you hugging up, it'll be all right. Right? Read on.
And spend not thy money with her at the wine.
At the what?
At the wine.
Now y'all getting a couple drinks and y'all just chilling. That's unlawful. Because it's gonna lead to madness. Okay? It's gonna lead to fall. A lot of brothers who fell in these things, they didn't take heed to all these other laws. They broke all these before you commit adultery, you would have broken all these other laws. That got you into that situation in the first place. Everybody understand that? Right. You got to ignore. The Most High, he helped us out. He said, don't even think it. Matter of fact, don't even look at them. Matter of fact, don't even sit with them. Don't buy a drink with them. So it's all these commandments telling us how not to deal with a married woman. For you to not end up in that situation. Because men like women, women like men. They're attracted to each other. Okay? It's understandable. All right? But if you keep the laws, statutes, commandments, and criteria of the Heavenly Father, you're going to make sure that there's space in between the two. Okay? Read.
And so through thy desire, thou fall into destruction.
Right. Through your desire, you fall into destruction. What do? You end up committing adultery. Why? Because you have to drink. Right? That drink will do it, man. All right? The Henny, yeah, then you want to blame it on that, right? Blame it on the alcohol. Give me 19 and 2, huh? Leviticus 9, Sirach 19, verse 2.
Sirach 19, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away.
Right.
And he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent.
Right. So what? Wine and women is not a good mix. Especially if these women are what? Unable to be your wife. Okay? A married woman is unable to be your wife. She can't be your wife. All she can be is your partner in adultery. Everybody say that? There's no circumstance that makes that woman your wife. If she's a married woman. There's no circumstance. In this society, amongst the heathen, there is. You know, you cut that zero, you get with this hero. It's all good. All right? You know, you got a man on the side. Recently they had this politician woman. She getting blown up because she was dealing with a, huh? The white woman. Yeah, the white woman. She was looking crazy in the face because she was dealing with her head of security. And she a married woman. And her husband was some big professor in some college or something like that. Right? And she, was she the governor of where? Mayor of where? Remember what? She was the mayor of some, what was it? Talking about she ain't stepping down. Me and my husband got to work through some things. Ain't nothing to work through. It's clearly you've been doing a lot of work. Right? So you been working overtime. Come on, you want to work through something. Ain't nothing to work through. You wicked as hell. Right? But should be saying you wicked as hell, man. You got caught in your adultery, you wicked as hell, woman. All right, that's it. We got to work through some things. We got some matters that we need to address. Right? What does that mean? What does that even mean? All right? You need to come off of it. That's what it means. You got caught in your madness. You wicked as hell. You need to be rebuked. Put away quickly. But that would be the law of the Most High. All right, they don't deal with the law. But I show you that when we don't do what the commandments say, who are we following? Esau and the other nations. That's who your God is there. If your God is not Yahweh and you're not doing things according to commandment, you are following Satan and his people. There's no in between. Either it's Torah or Satan. That is it. We got to stop thinking that there's some gray area. There is no gray area. Okay? So it behooves us to learn what the Father said and accept his commandment and not be rebellious against his word. This way, we don't end up like the heathen. Because what's coming to the heathen? Death, destruction, and fire is coming to the heathen. And all those that live their way too. That follow after their ways. Death, destruction is coming to you too. You will be dealt with as a Gentile if you live as a Gentile. All right? So we got to make sure that we're not doing that. All right? Let's get back to, steal. Thou shalt not steal. Oh man. This is this is one of those commandments where you would think it's obvious, right? But some of us steal so much we don't even realize that we steal. Stealing is taking anything that don't belong to you. Doesn't matter the reason. If you take it and it didn't belong to you, you stole it. As we would say, thou shalt not steal. Things that are rented. Right? If it's rented, you try to keep it, you borrow it, and you don't bring it back. At some point along that borrow, you become a thief. Because you have no desire to bring back that which was borrowed. Okay? You're stealing it at this point. Okay? The scriptures say, thou shalt not steal. All right? We're going to a lot of verses on that, but we're going to read on. Yeah, but believe it or not, we did a whole class on stealing before. Okay? Because a lot of people think, well, he got 10 of them, he don't need this one. Right? They make excuses on why they can steal somebody's stuff. Right? No. Right. There was 3 apocryphas in here. They got up and walked away. How you steal the word of the Most High? I mean, we had 3 apocryphas in this bookshelf. I look at there, there's not one in there. Not even one. They borrowed it, right? Forever. just like we borrowed the things of the Egyptians, right? We were not bringing it back. Right? But, we are not to steal, all right? And somebody might say, what about Esau? I know that's on somebody's mind. Could we steal from him? Just don't get caught.
Don't call for no.
We shouldn't steal from anybody. We shouldn't steal from anybody. All right, even Esau. We shouldn't steal from anybody. All right. I know we call reparation. I know we say we are recovering stuff, right? But listen, taking things that don't belong to us is against the law of the Most High. Now I know you say rob them that rob you, but the time is coming for that. Okay, time is coming for that. Okay. Now, there's certain situations in this kingdom that if you got to steal to eat, to live, it's a different punishment than stealing to be a demon, right? If you got to steal to eat and live, the Most High said, restore that which was stolen. Okay? Sometimes 5-fold, right? So you understand that you had to take something, some situation happened. But if you just stealing just to steal, right now you got me talking about it. Let's get stealing real quick. Let's get up to Leviticus. In the 5th chapter, I believe it is. Let's see here. Well, slide. The whole class was there. I don't remember what verse, what chapter it was. And you know what? Judgment will come on Esau because the scripture says, "Thou steal a man, and he's found in your hands, that you will be put to death." And he's still in the hands of Esau. So he is destined to pay for his crime as well. Exodus 22. First, give me Leviticus 19:11, then let's get Exodus 22. Exodus 22, right? Right. Yeah, Exodus 22. Right.
Leviticus 19:11. You shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another.
Right, so we're not supposed to steal, deal falsely, means that, or lie one to another. Okay, we're going to go into bearing false witness next, and that'll be covered in that. All right, get Exodus 22:1.
Exodus 22:1. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it, or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep.
Right, so now we're not dealing with oxen and sheep today. But if I take something from you and I can't give you back what I took, I need to replace it plus, right? In addition to what I took, 5 times what I took. That's the punishment. That's the punishment. Now, every sin, that wasn't the punishment for every sin. There were certain sins where, restoring that which thou hast done is your punishment. So if I steal something you find, I stole $5 from you. If I stole $5 from you, Asher, how much money I owe you? That's right, $25, man. That's an expensive death, man. If we ever held that law, people would think about, damn, if I take this dude $5, I gotta give him back $25. That's
If you get caught.
right. If I get caught, right? You know.
If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he dies.
So the thief is coming through your window. You go, who the hell is that coming through my window? You go under your mattress and blah, you take him out. Right? Read on.
And be smitten that he died.
Right?
There shall no blood be shed for him.
You guiltless, man. Right? Somebody break into your house, you ready to steal, you take him out. Should have broken him. All right? Read on.
If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him.
Right?
For he shall make full restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft.
That means if somebody stole, got away, you chase him down, and then you kill him, now you're guilty of killing your brother. Okay? You're not supposed to do that. That's premeditated. But if you found him in the act, and you go to defend your property, and you take his life in the midst of that, well, then you're not held responsible. You understand that? Because it's something called premeditated. All right? Well, if they already stole your car, and you come around the corner, you see your car driving down someplace else, you chase him down, and you kill him, that's premeditated. We're not supposed to do that. All right, you know?
If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or donkey or sheep, he shall restore double.
Right, but if he can bring back what he stole, so let's say I stole your sneakers, right? But your sneakers are right there. I didn't even wear them, man. I took them, yeah, but I ain't even here to go hit it back. I got to give you back your sneakers that I took, and, right, a new pair for me putting you through this. But if I took your sneakers and sold them, then I got to give you 5 pair. Everybody understand that? Because I can't give you back what I took. All right, read on.
If a man shall cause a field of vineyard to be eaten, and shall put it in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field, or the best of his own field, and the best of his vineyard, shall he make restitution.
Right, so what? He made his beast go and eat in the man's field. He can't get back those fruits. It's inside the beast. Right? Now you got to make restitution. You'll make this your animal come and eat up my best stuff. Mess up my profit. Right? You got to make restitution for that. You got to give it back. You got to mend it. You can't just say, I'm sorry.
My bad.
My bad. That's not good enough in Israel. You do something to somebody, wrong them in a certain way, now you got to make restitution. You got to repent and then give them something. Somehow work out what the pain or the problem that you caused that person, inconvenience that you caused that person needs to be paid back to that person. Read.
If fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn on the field be consumed therewith, he that kindled the fire shall surely make restitution.
Right.
If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double.
Right.
If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges to see whether he have put his hand unto his neighbor's goods.
Right, so what? If you can't find the thief, then what? They're going to be questioning that man. Right? Because something was stolen out of his house. You lend somebody something, and somebody come in that person's house and steal it. If we can find the thief, that thief will give it back and plus double. We can't find the thief, then they're looking at you like, wait a minute. How we can't find this thief that supposedly stole something out of the house? Chances are it's going to end up on your lap now, right? You know?
For all manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, for donkey, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing which another challenges to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor.
Right.
If a man deliver unto his neighbor a donkey or an ox or a sheep or any beast to keep, and it die or be hurt or driven away, no man seeing it, then shall an oath of the Most High be between them both, that he have not put his hand unto his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good.
Right, so now if you give me something, and something happened to it, but it's out of my control, right? I had nothing to do with it, okay? You told me, yo, can I park my car at your house? And then a tree falls down and breaks your car. It's not on me to give you a new car, right? He said, we make an oath. Listen, did you cut the tree? No, I did not cut the tree. Therefore, you are what? You are vindicated from responsibilities. This is all liability. That's what you call as liability. Right? We have our laws concerning liability. Who's responsible? Who's liable for this loss or this action? Somebody start a fire and it burns up. If I start a fire and it burns up your house, I owe you your house. Because I started the fire. I am liable for your loss. My intention may not have been to burn your house down. But because my fire burnt your house down, I am liable. Everybody understand that? We have to know these laws and understand these things because these things will come into play as we deal and interact with one another. How to judge matter correctly, which a lot of us don't know. Right? A lot of us think Esau's way. Okay, and they come with some old technical mumbo jumbo just to get off. Everybody want to get off. Nobody want to be responsible, right, and be liable. You have to allow yourself to be liable and responsible for that which you cause someone to lose. All right, Shalom.
Proverbs 6:30 and 31.
I'll take a look at that. All right, let's finish here. We're going on to the 15th verse.
Verse. And if it be stolen from him,
Uh-huh.
he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. If it be torn in pieces, then let him bring it for witness, and he shall not make good that which was torn. And if a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and it be hurt or die,
Right.
the owner thereof being not with, he shall surely make it good. But if the owner thereof be with it, he shall not make it good.
Right.
If it be in hire thing, it came for his hire.
Right. So now, let's look at an example. Right. I said, man, bring your grill over so we can have a barbecue. And while we having a barbecue, the grill breaks. I don't have to, even though you brought it to my house, you here with me. We're using this thing, okay, for our benefit. I don't have to make it good. It's your. But if I take it, say, lend it to me, and I take it away and I destroy it, then I need to bring it back. I need to restore it. Everybody understand that? Okay. These are little things that happen all the time between family and friends that we may not know the right way to judge the matter. All right. But the Most High covered all this in His commandments. All right. What verse do you call? 6 and what?
6 and verse 30 and 31.
Yeah, okay, that speaks to if the stealing happens because of necessity. All right, we'll read that real quick and then we'll go back.
Proverbs 6 and 30. Men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house.
Right, so he still got to pay it back. They ain't gonna hate him, but you got to pay it back. Okay, that was Proverbs 6, 30 and 31. All right. Let's go back to Exodus.
Exodus 20 and 16. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Right, what does that mean? Lie on your neighbor. Say you saw something, you didn't see it. Say he did something and you're not sure. Do not bear false witness on your neighbor. All right? Don't be on the stand dropping all kind of them, all of a sudden you saw everything and you ain't see nothing. Right? But I know he did it because he was the only one there. It don't matter. Did you see him do it? No. Well, then you don't know that he did it. Circumstance is not truth. All right? Well, he was the only one there. So what? That doesn't mean that he did it. Right? Your eyes see it, then he did it. You still need proof. Okay. Read on.
Thou shalt not come in the name of his house. Thou shalt not come in the name of his wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is thy neighbor.
Right. Covet means to desire or to lust after things that belong to your neighbor. Your neighbor may have a nice car, and you like it so much that you want, instead of getting one like it, you want his car. That will lead you to steal. Okay? We spoke about adultery. He said your brother might have beautiful wife. He may have 5 beautiful wives. And you now want to commit adultery with one of his wives. And that happened with Reuben. He committed what? Adultery with his father's what? Concubine, right? Now his father had what? 4 wives at that time, right? So he went with one of the concubines. No. All belong to him. Right? So you can't say, well, he got 3, man. He don't mind this one. Right? That's a man mentality. That's not the Most High. All belong to him. Everybody understand that? Come. Read.
And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
Right.
And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not the Most High speak with us, lest we die.
So they was afraid of the Most High. That's why he came out there in his glory and his power. Because that's exactly what the Most High wanted to hear. That you want to deal with Moses now. You don't want to deal with me. Okay? Read on.
And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for the Most High is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not.
Right.
And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where the Most High was.
Right.
The Most High said unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, You have seen that I have talked with you from heaven.
Right.
Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold.
Right. Read. That's 2023. Con. So that is the end of the portion. All praises to the Most High. The Most High hand for giving us a wonderful portion. At this time, we're going to take the break, and then we're going to reconvene about half an hour to go over some scriptures and some topics and things that we got coming up, current events. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Great time. So.